But once again, you just can't read about it. You can't sit back and be a theorist. You have to be a fucking practitioner. And in that practice is where that becomes proof positive.
So those are just pure suffering problems. There's nothing there's nothing to do. You just have to suffer.
Yeah.
And so it's those moments where you want to turn tables, you want to scream, you want to hit, you want to do whatever your emotional outbreak is going to be, and just thinking like, I will suffer and it will be fine.
Do you really want to win? Because winning has a cost. Winning requires discipline. Winning requires consistency. Winning requires a willingness to go all in.
Goes to the field hospital. The doctor declines to amputate the fingers, so he just rips them off in front of him because he's in so much pain. The arm then has to be amputated. So he says to the guys again, I want to be redeployed. And they're like,
do you actually want to do this or not? Because if you actually want to do it, what's going to stop you? Nothing. And if you don't really want to do it, what's going to stop you? Just about anything that comes up. Just about any obstacle that gets in your way becomes an excuse. It becomes a reason. It becomes a rationale for not proceeding down that path.
I'm way more afraid of the consequences of saying something that's false or wandering off the appropriate path than I am of whatever consequences might come for saying what I believe and doing what I believe to be the case. I'm way more afraid of that.
Like, bro, you can't move past something that you constantly revisit over and over and over and over and over again and build your identity around. You can't become a non-victim if your whole identity is, there's something wrong with me, or something bad happened to me. Something bad happens to everyone.
So why not go up? They get slower and they get less free up there, I feel. They're stiffer, they're even more stuck than the lightweight division. So I'll keep going, I'll keep eating, keep training, and keep going until all the belts are wrapped up.
There's everything that's there's comfort waiting for you. There's negotiations waiting. There's negotiations. There's lazy. There's all there's victim. There's all that stuff. They're literally waiting at the bedside for you. And I get up every morning, acknowledge them. Hello, hello, hello. Just keep going.
The best way to receive discipline is to do what you hate to do, but to do it like you love it. You do that, that's discipline.
And is that something you really practice?
That's all I practice my whole life, even now.
Ooh, first sign of smoke, I'm gonna say there's fire. Be easier to get out of here. Path least resistance. Sorry. I think too many people quit. I think that's more of a problem than the divorces that are ones that turned out to be good.
Hardness, mental hardening, mental toughness, it's a perishable skill. Just because you went through some training once and you got through it, doesn't mean it lasts forever.
Yeah, magic you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding all the time. Every single time that we're not making progress in this way, what is the highest pain task that's in front of me that I've put off the most? It's always that one. It always is.
You just get better at the bigger thing because you practice a smaller version of it over and over and over and over again. And it's boring as fuck, you're right. It's just so boring. And so nobody wants to do it. It's not sexy.
But is kind of mentally ill. He's obsessed with winning to the point where he's an asshole. But that asshole, like, he'll tell you, like, you just don't want to win enough. And he's right. He's right.
Today is not that day. If you see me in a fight with a bear, pray for the bear. I've always loved that quote. That's Mamba mentality. We don't quit, we don't cower, we don't run, we endure and conquer.
It's like there's a place where their fear they'll say, that's close enough. It's like, okay, now you're on the edge. You're on the edge. So now we'll dance on the edge.
But what better reason to train yourself to handle that shit now? So that when it does come and there is a lot on the line, you can keep your shit together when you know everybody else is quitting.
But what if we'll call it what it is, either the lack of discipline or the laziness in the moment changes the trajectory of your life, because you apply that to everything in your life, because that's how you start your day and how you end your day.
Everyone wants it until they get it. That's fact. Diego Brandao wanted to fight. He was talking like he wanted to fight, but when we came face to face, when we came man to man, he was a shell. He was broken.
Listen, when I was fighting, if I don't fight him, I'm not fighting.
Right.
I'm not fighting nobody. This is who I want to fight. If I don't fight him, I'm not fighting nobody. You can take my belts.
So it has to come to that.
But you sit there and you go, I believe that if I do the hard work now and break this sweat and draw some blood to make this work, which sucks, I'm going to get to the other side. It's a sacrifice I'm willing to take to get to the other side and go, oh, there we go.
But if you don't acclimate to challenging yourself and facing obstacles and becoming better on a consistent daily basis, then what the fuck are you doing?
And I think that people have a hard time with that because they're unwilling to say, I want one thing more than another. And I think you just have to be able to say, like, I'm willing to sacrifice this thing, not forever, but for now.
And last but not least is lean into your suffering. Bring it on. You know, it's like I have this, I make my students say, my suffering is sacred, right?
But if you want to be the best at something,
you've got to
it's
be
really
obsessive.
the best strategy. If you really want to compete against other top dogs, you're going to have to do more or be better, be smarter, or figure something out that they're not figuring out.
Well, it's really a game of who's prepared to sacrifice most.
It's also who's prepared to learn the most, right?
I think that's a good thing to remember, that discipline isn't just, oh, this person is, quote, more disciplined than this other person. It's like, no, this person is choosing discipline, this person is not. That's the way it is.
It says, leave your zone of comfort. Leave your parents, leave your tent, leave your community, leave your tribe, leave your land. Go out into the world.
And I felt right. I felt like I was put here to do this. When I'm in there, I feel calm, I feel composed. I knew he was beat before the fight. I could see it in his eyes the same way I see it in Dustin's eyes. They're beaten men, they're broken men when I'm looking at them. And he was beaten long before he stepped into that cage, so I just went in and put him out of his misery.
Do you think that that's what it takes to make someone who is as good as you, as young as you? You have to be completely obsessed.
Me, Mike Tyson, I'm an obsessed mentality type of person.
That's really about like having that extra beat of courage, that you know, just believing that there's something here if you just stay in this space, you know.
Transformation comes with sacrifice, and that's part of dying a little bit.
You gotta beat the shit out of it. And that's what I am.
Yeah.
I became that. I said, okay, we can't quit. We gotta figure out why you are this pussy. Why are you this pussy, man? What is wrong with you? What's going on here?
And it was the fear that I was never going to make it which compelled me to make it. And that's what got me to pack all my shit, drive my car halfway across the country, and then and only then call everyone and tell them that I had left so they couldn't talk me out of it.
So when your excuses make you feel a little bit better about the fact that you didn't execute on what you needed to execute on, then they can make you feel better, but they're not helping you. They're not helping you at all.
And what I say to any person that is besieged with fear, it is one of my favorite sayings, Mel, and that is fear has no place in your success equation. Anytime you approach anything in your life, personally or professionally, from a position of fear, you will always underpenetrate that opportunity.
I don't want to believe that the inner critic is the jet fuel. I want to believe that it's like one of the engines, right? But there's got to be that other engine. Because, you know, I also feel that, yes, I feel like the inner critic or that fear of failure, the possibility of shame, all these things can drive us.
I remember Bob Marley, when he performed at a time after he had had a fight and was wounded, and a reporter said, "You're Bob Marley, you could have taken a night off." And he said, "People who do evil in the world don't take a night off. Why should I? Why should I?"
So these decisions that you're struggling with, while they seem very hard to you, they're only hard because you lack the skill set of discipline that you haven't built yet.
Like, no means if you keep pushing this, something that you do not like will happen to you. That's what no means. You don't have any strength of character unless you can put up a fight. You know, and to be able to say no to something is to be able to put up a fight.
Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it. And it also could be, discipline could be taking your illusions and turning them into a reality. Now that's discipline. Imagine you have a dream of something You dream of yourself something bigger than what you can ever imagine, and you become it.
I believe I can. And I don't want to quit believing I can. That's sort of where I find myself in approaching life. Keep going for perfection. Keep finding that reality comes in under that. And you will have climbed more stairs, if we're going to have a vertical, by the end. You will have had more quality. Your roots will have been deeper and wider, inside and out, vertically and to the south, than if you didn't chase that perfection.
There's no positivity in that. But when you train the mind the way I train mine, I'm ready, man. I'm ready, because first of all, I didn't have much talent. So I had to train one thing. You better train your mind, because my talents can run out way early.
And I think if you get clear on the thing that you're willing to sacrifice other things for, that you're willing to put all those things on the altar to sacrifice for the one thing, life gets, to our point earlier about simplicity, much easier because you have a singular lens to make all decisions through.
Yeah, the SEAL training is not fair at all. It's not fair at all. And I'm sure there's good guys that don't make it because they just physically can't handle it. That being said, the way the program works, for the most part, if you don't make it, it's because you didn't make it.
This is the time to discipline your mind, discipline your focus, and dedicate yourself to creating a new reality. Call forth those things that be not, as though they were. Say it's done, stick a fork in it, and know you were born for greatness. This is your moment. This is your time. You were chosen out of 400 million sperm to be here.
How do you get muscles? You lift heavy okay? Like how do you be able to run 20 miles? You start trying to run, all right? You got to understand that your discipline is a skill set that has to be cultivated and trained in order for it to work.
So then you might ask yourself, well, what's the best antidote to the discomfort of life? And you might say, well, it's comfort. And I suppose that's what you act out when you swaddle a baby. But a better antidote is something like adventure to excellence. And that's far better antidote to suffering than the mere absence of suffering.
Look at yourself, man. Look at yourself. And it was that day, and a couple of days after that, I just got real with myself. And every day I came home, I called the accountability mirror. What am I going to do today to change what I see in this mirror?
And so, you know, the inverse of that, many people have heard it, courage is not acting without fear, but despite fear. And I think that when you allow fear to change your behavior the wrong way, that is when you can give yourself that title of coward. And I think that that is a title that I have feared my whole life. And that label is almost, I'm more afraid of that label than the label of failure. I'd rather be a failure than a coward.
I never thought about quitting. If they told me to get back in the water again, let's go. They told me to put that log on my shoulder, let's go. Put the boat on my head, let's go. I didn't care.
Can you teach that let's go? We're gonna jump back in the water, let's go.
I think that's one of the few things that you learn in basic SEAL training is to shrug your shoulders and go forward.
You lose that fight. You lose that, why the fuck am I doing this shit? I'm good. You ain't good, man. You ain't never arrived. And that's just my mentality. You may have more, but you never arrived. You want to be uncommon amongst uncommon people. Period.
What's wild about the fear that people have when they're starting out is that they say things like, I have nothing going for me. I have no advantages. I have nothing to my name. I have no money. I have no network. I have no resources. But using Rory Sutherland's reframing, it also means that you have nothing to lose, which makes you incredibly dangerous.
And you'll see that if you have that kind of discipline right now, you're going to end up with freedom. And if you don't have that kind of discipline, and you keep eating those Doritos, and you don't work hard, and you don't exercise, and you don't apply yourself, you're going to end up You're going to end up shackled.
What works for me is that everyday resume, the things I know I've accomplished, the things I know I've done, real hard work, the real calluses on my mind, the real calluses on my hands. That's it. You don't need to pound your chest in the mirror anymore if you have that.